Well, good afternoon. My name is Zenia Ortiz. I have enjoyed my internship with the Christian Service Center. I have a couple of questions that I need to answer, and they go as follows. The first question I have you been able to connect your college classes with your internship placement? The only thing that I can say that I have been able to connect is the process. From beginning to the end, the uncomfortable feeling when I started because I didn't know anyone, I didn't know what was expected or what I would encounter, to toward the end being very familiar with the process, with the people, with what was expected for me. That is what I can connect to my placement with the Christian Service Center to school and classes. The second question is, what advice would you give to a student who is about to start their internship at the Christian Service Center, which is the place that I did my internship? Go in there with a clear mind. Be ready to accept all kinds of mixed emotions. Um, the uncertainty of what's really required, to the feeling of accomplishment when you actually help your first family in need. Um, it's very difficult, I will admit, because they straight out put you right in the middle of everything. From having to connect with the people, putting information into the computer, making decisions like on rainy days when you know you're only allowed to give a closing voucher once every 2 weeks, and you know that they have just sat in the rain for the last 12, 14 hours, your heart kind of gives out and you hand out closing vouchers, even though you know it's not time. But whatever decision you make as a case manager, which is the position that I filled out, is okay. Because at the end of the day, I have to assess the problem or the situation that's going on and make a decision on all those factors. The next question I had was, did my understanding of the challenges of the population that I worked with change after my internship? Yes, I have a different perspective and idea of what homelessness is today, thanks to the internship that I did. I mean, coming from a single household, being a single parent, I kind of understand what hardships are. But seeing it cold-heartedly, first-hand experience, it impacted me a different way. I feel that our community needs to do more to help out those in need. There should be more mental health providers offer economic economically I just don't know how to say it. I believe that there's a lot more our community can do. Our government, our mayors, the foundation of our community can benefit a little bit more. The next question I have is, while interning, if I could indicate some of the solutions I discovered and address challenges encountered by the population. The solutions for me were real easy because I was given objects and I was I didn't just come into this empty-handed. I was given the things that I needed to be able to help. When they came and they were wet, I was able to offer them dry clothes. When they came and they needed food, I was able to offer them food. When they came and they needed medical help, I was able to refer them to a place that would offer them economic and free of charge health care. But I think that there is such a need to help. We have so many people in need that there is a lot of stipulations that they need to cover to be able to get approved. Like to get groceries to go home, they need to come in and show a lease. Sometimes people live in somebody's house and they don't have a lease. So the Christian Service Center wasn't allowed to give them groceries because they didn't and they weren't able to show that security. And there's two parts to that. I can understand that the center doesn't want the food to go to waste, but I also don't understand knowing that we have so much in our pantry that we can't have a little more leeway. So that's the biggest conflict that I found. Not that necessarily it would matter, but I found it a little difficult to understand or accept it. It was kind of difficult to accept. um, the the guidelines that I had to go through. And I'll be honest, when there was nobody looking my way, I went ahead and I slipped a pack of groceries or a bag of cereal or just a snack pack because I had the opportunity to do it just to help out that one little chance that I had. So I I guess it just all falls on on the person at the end of the day. And a lot of the decisions that I made, I only made them after seeing another case manager act the same way. So I think we all feel sort of kind of the same way. The next question I have is for me to provide some of the details or stories of changes I saw during my internship. I had a family. I think this is the story that impacted me the most. I had a family that lost everything to a fire, and they came in, mom very distraught, four little kids, father not knowing what to do, how to do it, and we were able to get them into some emergency housing and give them groceries to go home with and diapers and clothes. Um, this story impacted me the most because here you have a family that's struggling but making it. And from one minute to the other, they lose it all. We don't, me for myself, I don't know if I walk out of this room and something happens to me that changes my life and all the circumstances around my life. But it it was really impacting to see them eventually have a little relief in all the torment that they're living. The next question I have is, what did I learn about myself? I have a lot of learning to still learn. One person alone cannot change the world. No matter how much groceries or clothes or fixing someone's living situation that I can do and I did, um, I can't reach everyone. I I I also learned that my heart is bigger than I ever imagined. because for however tough I am, I still sit down and wonder about some of the people that I met over there. And the crazy thing is that they're just like me. They're people. And these people get looked at like they they get put to a side. They get moved. They get talked about. But the one thing that I learned is that this can happen to anyone. This can happen to me. So compassion and understanding was the one the biggest thing that I learned about myself through this internship. And I would definitely recommend this internship to other students. If you were to have the opportunity to have this internship at the Christian Service Center, I'm going to tell you to be ready to see the unexpected, to have to make decisions that you've never imagined that you were going to have to make. But at the end of everything, I know that you'll come out of there with a different understanding. You will have picked up more of a personal feeling of understanding toward the homeless crowd once working there. So, good luck.